Hello, and welcome back to the Qualcast, the official podcast for Qualbert.com. I'm your host this week, Ben, aka Captain Trophy Hunter, and this week we'll be discussing the recent slew of gaming showcases and our favorite announcements from them. With me today, I have Mark,
Hello.
Lee,
Greetings.
and yet another unheard member of our team, Para. Welcome. Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
G'day, my name is Para. I have been a relatively unseen member of the Qualbert team thus far, but otherwise I'll be getting involved shortly enough. I'm a long-time gamer. I started when I was 5 years old, before I could read, which made the opening segment of my first game, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. In it, you are told you have to get 100 coins before you can move to the next area. I didn't know, I couldn't read, so I was stuck there for a year. Which was fun. And nowadays, I enjoy card games. I think my most played game right now is Warframe, and big sucker for VR games. Been playing a modded version of Battlefront VR for a long time now.
Oh, that sounds cool. Is it? Obviously, it's fun.
Exceptional fun, highly recommended. But cost of entry of VR is a bit daunting in the meantime.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
such is the nature of the beast.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us this week.
Good to be here.
So a few weeks ago, we had a handful of special gaming showcases over the space of 4 or 5 days, which is a lot to cover. But don't worry, we're not going to talk about each and every one here. Otherwise, you'll still be listening to us at the next Summer Games Fest. But what we will do is talk about our favorite ones from those showcases. Starting off with which overall showcase we thought was the best. Mark, do you want to start us off which one you thought was the best?
Oh, I thought we were talking about our favorite overall because that's two different things.
Yeah, our favorite overall Games Fest showcase.
So my favorite showcase overall was definitely the Xbox showcase. It kind of helps that I'm a big Xbox stan. I don't think it was the best one, probably. Like a lot of people are going to say like the Summer Games Fest itself. But the Xbox game showcase definitely had the most stuff in it that I was interested in. Like starting off with like Outer Worlds 2. Like I really enjoyed the first one, so I was quite excited to see more stuff with that. But the big surprise for me for that one was the announcement of the ROG Xbox Ally. So for those who don't know, the ROG or ROG Ally is made by Zeus. They made it in 2023, and it's basically part of their Republic of Gamers subdivision. And it's a portable computer essentially. It's kind of like a Steam Deck, and they're partnering with Xbox to bring out the ROG Xbox Ally, coming out later this year. Like it's supposed to be in time for Christmas, and it has it's Xbox's first branded handheld console. It's got grips inspired by the Xbox wireless controller, a dedicated Xbox button, and if you get the X model, which is like their bigger one, which I think it's got like a terabyte hard drive, it also has impulse triggers, which is just so bloody cool. So, like, I don't do a lot of portable gaming. Like, I've got a Switch, but it basically gathers dust, and I'm probably going to be executed by our editor in chief for saying that. But
luckily, he's not here today.
Thankfully. But no, I think this might actually get me doing more portable gaming, which will be cool.
It is a very cool announcement. My only issue, I think, might mirror a lot of other people is what it would have against like a Steam Deck or something like that. Do you think cost? Do you think cost will sway you, or do you think you'll get it regardless?
Honestly, cost will probably be the biggest thing. I mean, if if Microsoft are listening, I'm always down to review it.
Yes, we
But,
can do. We do console reviews, of course.
Yeah, so I'm always down to review it and then hopefully keep it. But who knows? I know it's going to be cheaper than a Steam Deck, I believe, but I don't know what the processing power is going to be like comparatively. But
Yeah.
it'll be
Well,
interesting because you can just run Steam on it. You can run the Xbox's Play Everywhere, like the Game Pass and everything on it. So like I said, it'll be interesting to see how it compares.
absolutely, with Xbox kind of leaning towards the more digital only area of gaming. Okay, well, I'm going to go next. My favorite Games Fest showcase was the State of Play because I'm a Sony fanboy and I can't help it. But they had a lot of new announcements, some pretty exciting ones for gamers. No, 3, the Marvel Token fighter game that looks pretty cool. They also had another new announcement, which I'm going to mention later on, and also a few new controllers. So they had the Fight Stick, PlayStation's first Fight Stick, alongside the announcement of the Mortal Kombat original trilogy release, which is really cool. I think a lot of arcade enthusiasts will jump on that. And they're re-releasing the Astrobot controller later this year, which is cool because I didn't get that one, so I might have to get this one. They also
I
said there
missed out
was.
on that too. Really looking
Yeah,
forward
I know.
to another chance for that.
I didn't pre-order it, and I'm like, I don't think I need it. And then I played Astrobot, and it was basically almost my game of the year last year. I'm like, damn, I should have got that controller. So now we have a second
Same.
chance. Now we have a second chance, Lee. So, but they also said there's another surprise coming with it. So I wonder if they're going to incorporate the blinky eyes into the touchpad somehow. Because
You'll get your real life Astrobot.
Oh, please.
I think open up the touchpad and there's little Astrobots in there waiting to get out.
Oh my god, yeah, you open it and they pop out. It only costs $1 million. That's okay. Anyway, that was mine. Lee, do you want to have a go?
Of course. Just like you, I'm a massive PlayStation fan, so State of Play was also my pick of the bunch. There was just new footage and information for a bunch of games that we already knew about, but it was great to see them progressing. So Silent Hill F looking really good, Metal Gear Solid Delta, Pragmata, which we hadn't seen for a while. I think since it was first announced, I don't think there's been much information. So
yeah, I think there's only been an announcement trailer, and then this was the next.
Yeah, so got some gameplay, which when I first saw it, I was like, "Hey, it's Banjo-Kazooie, but in space." When she's like on his back, it looks really good. I'm really looking forward to that. Ghost of Yotei, which they didn't really do too much on, but there's going to be a whole separate State of Play for it, I believe, next month. So
yes, that will be exciting.
Hanging out for that one. And the other one that, in terms of the new announcements, a few really great ones. Luminous Arise. I was a huge fan. I played the hell out of the PSP original Luminous, and yeah, it's great to see it coming back. Developed by the guys that did Tetris Effect, so it's just going to look and sound amazing. As you said, the Marvel fighter from Arc looks great as well, and Neo 3. That was a surprise. I don't think anyone was expecting that. So lots to look forward to.
Definitely. Para, do you want to tell us what your one was?
Oh, certainly. Well, I am not a console gamer. I unfortunately, tragically, heartbreakingly do not have a PS5 nor an Xbox. So Summer Games Fest was my beverage of choice for favorite overall Games Fest. So my favorite game of the whole shebang was during that announcement. So I'll leave that for the later segment. But things that really stood out to me from the new announcements had to be Act of Blood, which was like that was really scratching my sleeping dog's itch that I haven't had since the PlayStation 3. Was it Thailand action fighting game in the same sort of block counter attack genre of Batman Arkham, I suppose, a little bit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, very sequenced sort of combat, look very smooth, very interesting. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm going to give that a nudge. And then definitely, despite my lack of console, extremely excited for Death Stranding 2.
Yes.
I
Yes.
am. Oh my god! Holy smokes! I'm so keen. I only figured out earlier this month it was set in Australia, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be good to see some of that
Oh,
stuff.
unimaginably cool. But I get to wait a whole 2 years before I get to play that one on the PC release, which is still possible.
I
We
mean,
may yet
you
know.
could just buy a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, just yeah,
They're not expensive or anything.
yeah, just buy a PS5. But it's I'm looking forward to it significantly. But I cannot wait to talk about my real favorite announcement from that whole
All
festival.
right. Well, because you're so keen, let's talk about it. So, our favorite game announcement for the whole weekend. My one, which I didn't mention before, and thankfully Lee didn't either, was from the State of Play. It's James Bond is back. 007 First Light. Oh my god, this looks
Ooh,
amazing. By the makers of Hitman. I I like I don't know how to put into words how excited I am. The last James Bond game came out like 12, 13 years ago or something like that.
was that the GoldenEye remake?
No, I think it was. Oh, maybe there was one. There was a Daniel Craig one, Bloodstone,
Oh
um,
yes,
which wasn't fantastic.
I only remember
Um,
the name.
but that was in 2010.
Ooh,
It was a while ago. It's on the
Phew.
PS3. Yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about that. But this one looks really good. It's got a young Bond in it. He's only just starting. He's only just getting his stripes. It's set in the current day, but it still captures that Bond essence. You have an old Aston Martin car. You have Moneypenny. You have everyone. It's yeah. You got combat. You got stealth, intrigue. Anyway, as you can tell, I'm very excited. So that will be released next year. They didn't really give a date, so hopefully not too late in the year because I don't want to wait too long. But yeah, we will see. So I'll stop gushing over the British agent. Parad, because you were so excited, what was your favorite game announcement?
Well, my gushing shall now begin in earnest as well. Admittedly, that James Bond game looks fantastic. Super excited for that. But me personally, Arc Raiders, it's not exactly a new announcement by any means, but it sort of got me. I hadn't really seen anything about it personally. I hadn't been really looped in with it. I first saw a video about someone extracting while also being down at the same time, which seemed kind of cool because this game is an extraction shooter, which isn't a very well populated market, but I froth unimaginably. I was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 DMZ just day after day smashing that, and now Arc Raiders comes out, a third person extraction shooter PvEVP in the same sort of vein as most others, similar to I think Hunt Showdown as well, where there's a more diverse range of PvE enemies. In this case, it's like a lot of bots ranging from little orbs up to enormous walking tanks of death. At this point, might get some bigger, but I am so eager to scratch my magpie itch and just collect. Um, I'm of the firm belief that people are split in two ways. You are either a Chad or a rat, depending on how you play looting based open world games. Either you collect all the hard kit and just go for kills and kills and kills, or you're like me, a rat, where you avoid every other player, collect as much as you can, and extract in the most heinous way possible. I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds like
Nice.
you know your way around a extraction shooter.
Yeah, particularly with
Okay.
the controversy around Bungie's. Is it
That's
Marathon?
heartbreaking.
Marathon.
That is so heartbreaking, man. That was
Yeah.
going to be the thing.
It was looking so good, and it was looking good because they got the art from someone else.
I love the worst part is I love the art style. I was like, wow, this looks like exactly like that artist I like.
If you aren't following with us, we're talking about Marathon, the latest extraction co-op shooter from Bungie that got
The
bought
latest
out
Whoopsie
by
Daisy as well.
Sony, and yeah, it's not looking good. They announced a infinite delay, so
Yeah, not fun. After stealing the entire art style from an artist,
they
and
did.
hardly did a good job at hiding the fact.
No, look, I mean, even before that, I saw some videos, and I mean, I don't play a huge amount of online games. Like, I enjoyed my Helldivers and um, stuff, but didn't really grab me. Like it, yeah, I don't know. It didn't look finished or anywhere near ready for something like this. But hopefully, maybe if they put it back on the in the works for a half a year or a year, you know, we might get something that isn't another Concord or what have
I'm
you.
dead honest. This is going to go for like 1.5 to 2 years. I think if they're going to have to redo the whole look of the environment itself, then that could take a long time, especially after they have to wait for this whole thing to blow over.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Anyway, we'll see on that one. Okay, where are we at, Mac? Do you want to tell us your favorite game announcement?
Sure. Definitely my favorite game announcement was Clockwork Revolution, which was shown at the Xbox Game Showcase. It just looks like a heap of fun. Like, all right, so this was made by In Exiles. These are the same people who made like the Bard's Tale series of games and Wasteland 1 and 2, plus the Wasteland remake. This is such a massive departure from like those games to what Clockwork Revolution is looking to be. And it just looks phenomenal. Um it's if you told me it was a spiritual successor to something like BioShock or Dishonored, I would 100% believe you, just from the combination of gunplay plus your powers. And like the powers are very time based as well, so I'll be interested to see how that works out. But then the character creation and the dialogue choices are very Obsidian esque. Like it is just a hodgepodge of everything I love in gaming. Plus, the steampunk aesthetic is just always a crowd pleaser. I just wish we had a more set date instead of in due time. I know they did it for the pun, but guys, please, just let me know, please.
We just want something to look forward to. We want something to put on our calendars.
Mm.
That one did look good. I'm very interested to see how that goes. I do love time-based mechanics, so if that works out well, that would be good. Lee, what's your favorite?
Yeah, so these guys all know, and if you've read my reviews on Qualbert.com, you know I'm a big fan of RPGs and JRPGs. But one of my favorite games that was announced was something that I wasn't expecting to see, which was Scott Pilgrim EX from Tribute Games, a new developer, a relatively new developer in Canada. But the team there is made up of ex Ubisoft Montreal team members who worked on the previous Scott Pilgrim game, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which was a side-scrolling beat 'em up on the PS3, re-released a few years ago as a complete edition, I think, as well. But yeah, Scott Pilgrim EX is a completely new game with a new story. The writer of Scott Pilgrim's on board. It's not going to be a sequel as such. It's apparently just a completely separate story from what we've seen before. There was an animation on Netflix, came out last year maybe, Scott Pilgrim
Yeah.
Takes Off, which
Mm.
was great. Anyone who hasn't seen it should go and watch that.
It was really good. Yeah.
You have to watch the movie or the original manga, the comic. Either watch the movie or read the original comic, then watch this show, because it looks like it's going to be just sort of a remake of the movie, but it's not, and it's bizarre, but in a wonderful way. But I can't talk about it more because it spoils it. But
didn't they have the actors from the movie come in and voice their characters in the show?
they
as well?
had the same
single
voice
actor.
actors.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Which was fantastic.
Yeah, like Chris Evans and Kieran Culkin. Like, yeah, it was,
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera.
Oh, what a classic!
Yeah, it was great. So yeah, they're doing another side-scrolling beat 'em up. There's going to be 6 playable characters, but they haven't told us who any of them other than Scott are, and apparently it's going to be exciting. Yeah, we don't know much about it really, other than it's coming in 2026. So it's probably a year away, but yeah, it'll be great to return to that world. And I love beat 'em ups. Beat 'em ups are the best couch co-op games. They're so fun. You get 3 or 4 people. So Tribute Games, the developers, they also did the recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, which was fantastic. So they've got some good experience and some good releases they've already done in the genre. So
that Ninja Turtles game was fantastic. That looks cool. Well, it's shaping up to be a big year next year. Hopefully we don't get too many delays. And now we're going to go to our Indie Corner segment. Now, there's no game fest, no showcase without indies, and that's what we love here at Qualbert. There was even a full showcase, the Frosty Game Showcase, that highlighted Australian games, which was fantastic. So across all showcases and what have you, we have compiled a list of our favorite indie announcements. Now, Mac, do you want to start us off with your favorite indie announcement?
Yes, and I know I'm probably going to sound like I'm just repeating everything from the Xbox showcase, but mine is actually There Are No Ghosts at the Grand. So this is being made by a studio called Friday Sunday like the ice cream, and this is their debut game. Now, when I first saw this, I thought, oh, this just looks like a renovation sort of game, so like your house flipper crossed with like a power wash simulator or crime scene clean simulator. And I was like, oh yeah, it might be cool to play for achievements or something like that. And then just it takes a hard left turn, and all of a sudden there's mystery, there is a talking cat, and there is cosmic horror. And I was blown away by it. Like, I really want to know more about this game. I am so keen to play it. Like, it really emphasized the Django Unchained meme of, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
It does sound really good, and we will keep an eye on that one. Lee, what was your favorite indie?
Yeah, my favorite indie was a game called Ill, from another brand new developer. It'll be their first game. They're called Team Clout. I believe a lot of their backgrounds are in digital art, which doesn't surprise me because the game looks insanely good for a first effort.
It looks insanely moist for a first effort.
I was going to use that word later on as well. Yeah, so anyone who's been keeping an eye on this sort of thing, it did have a previous sort of trailer concept footage from, I think, 2021, like a few years ago now, which I didn't see at the time, but I've sort of tracked it down. And yeah, it looks interesting. And sort of the online discussion at the time was, who are these guys? They haven't released a game. This can't be a first effort. It looks like, even back then, it looks too good. Like, everyone thought it was just going to be vaporware, one of those things that, never sees the light of day. And yeah, 4 years later, a brand new trailer at Summer Games Fest, and it was gruesome, and it was very, very moist. So it's a survival horror game. Looks kind of similar in gameplay to RE7, RE8, like that kind of classic survival horror. But there's gore, there's body horror, there's dismemberment. There's a point in the trailer, if you watch it, where there's this like zombie baby thing that chases after you, and he just like boots it across the room. Like it
That
looks.
this gives it a solid kick. When I saw it, I just laughed out loud. Oh,
Yeah, it looks gruesome, but it looks like it's going to have that kind of B grade horror comedy aspect to it as well. Yeah, it looks great. So they've got a publisher on board. Munfish Powerhouse, who are the studio behind Atomic Heart. So the fact that they've got a big, they've got a known publisher on board is an excellent sign. No confirmed release date, but yeah, we know that there is now an actual game, and yeah, I'm optimistic that it'll be a bucket of fun.
Yeah, I'm really keen on that one too. It's looks so moist, but it did look like it had good combat, and the creatures or whatever, I don't know what the hell they were, they looked very well designed, like you said. So Para, what was your favorite indie announcement?
I actually went and visited there's a barcade in Brisbane called Netherworld, and they host the indie game night, and they had some really fantastic games on display. I've met a few devs with some fantastic games and got to play them recently, but one of them was called Lone Pine. Long way from release, but it's this gorgeous painterly adventure game. I think not Oxenfree, but 2D style walking adventure game. Pick up items, combine them, apply them to the world as you see fit. The artist behind it was inspired. She's goes out hiking pretty much every weekend, so she has a lot of admiration for the environment, which goes into this art. It's not actually set in Lone Pine, but it's got a very in-depth camera mechanic in there as well. Your goal is to sort of take photos of various cryptids around the vaguely Australian, vaguely North American national park of Lone Pine, and take photos. And you have to adjust the aperture and adjust the focus as you go, and look really quite interesting based on what we were able to see. But otherwise, it would be Key Fairy, which has a demo available right now as of the recent Steam Next Fest, and I highly recommend it if you like Metroidvanias with cool art styles and no combat.
Yes, they were actually at the recent Queensland Games Festival that I went to
Key
last
Fairy.
weekend. Yeah, they were.
Gorgeous game.
It looks amazing. I saw them there last year as well, and I played it then, and it was great. So I think they won the best indie award, like the users award there
Wow.
as well. Yeah.
Well earned.
Yeah. So hopefully that one. I can't remember if they're releasing that soon or not.
I mean, if the demo came out recently, it can't be too far away.
Yeah.
When it's ready, I was told back at PAX.
Yeah. When it's ready. Yeah.
When it's ready.
Indie devs like to say that, which is good because they're not worried about dates. They're worried about
it's finished.
Creating a good game, which is why we love them. Now, my one is a little bit different. It is a sequel, but it's called Moonlighter 2: The Endless Vault. It was in the PC Games Showcase, and it's basically a dungeon crawler / roguelite where you go through dungeons and collect items and materials, and then you can go back to your village and you have a little shop and you can sell it. And you can upgrade your shop and you can upgrade your weapons. And I'm currently playing the first one at the moment on my Switch, and it's amazing. And yeah, I just really like the look of the second one. To start off with, the first one is all pixel art, so you might actually like this, Lee. It's kind of like top-down pixel, kind of has a Zelda-esque vibe. But in the sequel, they've gone full 3D. It is isometric, top view down, and the art style is completely different, but it looks amazing. I mean, I do enjoy pixel art, but I prefer this style of game, and I really can't wait for this one.
You have piqued my interest, sir.
I did get it the first one on sale on the Switch. I'm not sure if the sale is still on. It was like $4. Which why I got it. I got it last weekend. I was playing it for a bit. So definitely check out those ones if you haven't already. And now, next we are going to say what our next upcoming game is from Games Fest. As in, what is the soonest release game that you're excited for that was shown at one of the Games Fests? If that's not confusing enough, we'll let Para try and decipher.
Well, from what I have gathered in my notes, I do believe Metal Gear Solid Delta is coming out rather soon, isn't it? Within at least a few months now. That's definitely something I'm really, really excited to be able to play at some point. It is. I bought the Metal Gear Solid collection for PlayStation 3, but because it was region locked, I wasn't able to properly give it a nudge. But now that I'm actually finally able to play it, soon to be able to play it in a little bit more of an accessible fashion, I'm really looking forward to being able to play this legendary game. And I very much hope to see the latter returning in extended and high definition form. Quite thing. And then, yeah, so that's my game.
Yeah,
So
a few of us at the website are very excited to get more of Metal Gear
yep.
Solid.
Definitely. I've had this on pre-order since it was announced, the Steelbook edition, and I played I only played the Metal Gear Solid series when the HD collection was released on PlayStation 3.
Yeah, that was the one.
I had a mate and we were both into gaming, and he's like, "Have you played Metal Gear Solid?" I'm like, "Nah, I'd never heard of it. Like, what is that? I play Uncharted and, Call of Duty. What is this Metal Gear you're talking about?" So we kept on and on and on, and then this HD release came out, and I said, "I get it." And I was like, "I got it." He's like, "No, you have to play Metal Gear Solid, the first one. You can't start off with 2 or 3. I was like, okay. So,
Like Metal Gear, the first Metal Gear.
no, Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid
okay.
1. Yeah, no, you don't have to play Metal Gear.
Not the first Metal Gear. No.
Thank goodness.
Which at the time the PS3 online store were doing PS1 classics. So I picked that up and I played it, and I don't think I put my controller down for 2 days. It was intense and one of the best games I'd played, considering it was 2 generations later. And it only got better when I started playing the HD collection. And how often I listened to Snake Eater, the theme song, was insane.
Ooh, but it hits every time too.
Every time.
I need to be able.
I've got a little bit of a faux pas. So I've got the Metal Gear Solid, like I think it's called the Platinum Collection, which is like 1 through 4, I think, on PS3. I haven't touched it. It's sitting there. It's got dust on it. I haven't touched it. I keep telling myself I'm going to go and play that, and I just never find time. But I have played a Metal Gear game.
Don't say Survive.
No. It's not Survive. I'm not that bad.
Metal Gear Acid.
I
love Metal Gear Acid. It's great. Great fun.
And I know Robert's ears are perking up right now, and so is Ben's. But it's a Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
Oh, Revengeance.
Yes. Rules of Nature. What a game.
Dude, that entire soundtrack is my gym playlist.
Right. It goes. Oh, that's such a good callback too. Oh, one thing I wish... Oh, you go.
Yeah, you go. There you go.
Well, one thing I want to do again is play Metal Gear Solid 5 for the first... Well, not for the first time, but you can't. There is no second save file. You either have to hit new game or transplant a fresh save file in. But I love that game so much. I wish I could play it again.
Really, 5?
5, yeah, Phantom Pain.
Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
That's probably my
Lot of
least.
fun.
Is probably my least favorite, to be honest.
I mean, it's fair. It was quite the departure from the series as a whole. It's not even
Yeah.
a finished game technically.
I mean, obviously the graphics were technically fantastic, but
Oh,
I just the story was anyway.
absurd.
Am I the only one here that's
Crazy.
played Acid and Acid 2? I know
No,
Ben
I
has.
haven't.
Oh,
I
I'm
know,
so sorry.
like Qualbert Ben
I think you
has.
maybe.
Yeah.
So
I would love to.
Mac would love it. Do you know what it is, Mac?
No, I don't think I've even heard of it.
So it's on PSP, both the first one and the second one. So it's like Metal Gear Solid, but all of your actions and equipment and everything is cards. It's like a card-based game.
I love it.
But it's actually really good. It's really so like you build your deck, and as you complete missions, you get better cards. Yeah, it's
It's
surprisingly
like a retelling
good.
of the first and second game, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was told about Acid, and then they said Metal Gear Solid 1 is how the Shadow Moses incident goes down. Metal Gear Acid is how Snake tells it at a bar.
That's amazing. I was gonna say with Rising Revengeance in Metal Gear Solid 2, everyone's like Snake, Snake, Snake. But honestly, my favorite character was the star of Metal Gear.
You're like Raiden.
Yeah, I loved Raiden. I don't know, like
He's a cool character. Like
He's
in
cool.
Metal
He's
Gear
cool.
He
Solid
was
4,
fantastic.
he's awesome.
yeah, and then he had his own spin-off game which was like a hack and slash, and I played the hell out of that. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And then people are
Iconic
like,
game.
oh, this is a Metal Gear Solid. I'm like,
No, it's Metal Gear Rising.
Not just hack and slash, it is the only game that has like the blade mode, and it is
Yeah.
so
How cool is
good.
that?
Like so many games could like be improved with it, and it is just having that pinpoint precision of being able to slash where you want. It's just so
Actually,
good.
Actually, you know what? Screw Metal Gear Solid Delta. I want Metal Gear Rising Revengeance remaster.
Give it to
Yes!
Give us Jetstream Sam again.
Absolutely. All right. Let's move on. Mac, what's your next upcoming game you're looking forward to?
Well, it was Mafia: The Old Country, but now I also want Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance remastered. But no, Mafia: The Old Country. Like, I love the Mafia series. I didn't play 1 when it came out. I played 1 when it got remastered, but I played 2 when it came out, and I love it. It is one of my favorite games of all time. Just all the characters are so interesting, and it was one of the games that really got me into like the third person open world game, not like that along with obviously GTA, but and from what I've seen about Old Country is, so it's a prequel to the first one, and they're going back to the same style of gameplay from 1 and 2 as opposed to the open world of 3. And while I think that's really cool, the only thing I want them to improve from 3 is I just want it to be not boring.
I'm gonna say something you might hate me for. I actually enjoyed 3.
Oh look, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy 3, but when I'm going back and replaying it for like achievements and stuff, I realized how boring it was when all the missions were just the same.
Yeah, fair.
You go to take another territory. It is the exact same missions all across the board with very slight differences, and it was just boring after so long.
It's
Whereas-
definitely one of those open world games that fell into that kind of almost
Saints Row.
Ubisoft. Yeah, just very
Mm.
repetitive missions across the map, and you just rinse and repeat.
How can we make players spend another 30 hours playing our game?
Mm.
How much of this map can you color in?
Aside from 30 hours of cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid.
Oh my god! Quick afternoon movie. The final cutscenes of Metal Gear Solid 4, a good hour and a half.
Just a casual, chill
Mm.
sesh.
Quick 3.
Yeah, Mafia looks really good. Set in the old country back in Sicily. I think it's more of a streamlined story. Not sure how much of an open world that it'll be. I think, it'll be similar to more like Mafia 1 and
Yeah.
focus
That's
on
why I
the
called it
story.
the Fopen world.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
Good line.
it looks open, but you have to still go do these missions.
Yeah.
You said as well it was a prequel to the first one, but it's a prequel to the First World War. It's set roughly in 1905 as well. It's the old country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful art style too. Gorgeous aesthetic.
I wonder if they'll actually tie it into the first one at all, or it'll just be, a long time ago this happened.
They have to. They have to. There has to be at least like a call out to the first game.
You would think so, yeah. Somehow the Mafia returned. Anyway.
New York, you say?
All right, Lee, what's your next upcoming game?
Yeah, so my next upcoming game is definitely going to be Death Stranding because it's only a week away. But we already spoke about that last week. And being me, I can't go a podcast without talking about RPGs. So the one that stuck out for me was the first announcement that we had received, secret, Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, coming on September 30th. So it's still a couple of months away. But yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this. I think it might have been one of the games in like that list of NVIDIA leaks from a couple of years ago. And most of them have come out now. So this was one of the last few. So some people were expecting it. But the original Final Fantasy Tactics on PS1 was one of the best games on the console. It's for people who haven't heard of it before. Tactics is it's a Final Fantasy game, but it's a strategy RPG. So I think your Fire Emblem type game. Build up your army, recruit characters, and take them onto a grid-based map with different elevations and learning different skills and different classes. It was an amazing game. It did have a previous sort of re-release on the PSP, which was called War of the Lions. And so this version, the Ivalice Chronicles, is actually going to have two versions of the game. So it'll have the original / War of the Lions version, but also a completely new version, new animations, full voice acting, which has never been before. And apparently the new version is also going to have some story adjustments. I don't know if it's just like retranslations or if they're actually changing things, but super excited to see that one.
Okay, well, my next upcoming game is Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. So it's another Souls-like, and it's out in about a month. So you take a role of a female pirate and travel through a war-torn, plague-filled Ming dynasty. Now, I love Souls-likes, I love Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Lies of P. So it'll be interesting to see if it's more of a Souls-like or action RPG like Stellar Blade that we got last year. So that will be one to watch. That's out on July 24th on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
It looks pretty interesting too. I mean, pirate history in China is also a really interesting sort of setting to take it too.
Yeah, for sure. So that will be on my list. Next, let's go through what we're currently playing. Either for fun or review-wise for the site. Lee, do you want to start us off?
Sure. I just finished up with Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. You can check the review for that at Qualbert.com. So between that and waiting for Death Stranding, I've only got a small amount of time, so I don't know if I'll pick up a whole new game. I have been smashing a lot of Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy Draft on Magic Arena. I've probably done about 20, 25 drafts. It is, it's a very fun format. Mostly 2-color decks. It's pretty easy to splash a third color, and in green, so the green-blue deck actually is a 5-color deck. But
that's the Towns archetype, isn't it?
The Towns, yeah. So it's pretty much every color combination I've had some amount of success with. So it seems fairly even.
I adore that set. It looks fantastic. The red and black, especially with the little black mages. I love that.
Yeah, I always find myself drawn to that, and I always don't do as well as I want to. But yeah, I don't know whether it's sort of a bomby, what do they say, Prince or Pauper set. It's kind of in between, because I've seen decks do really well that are built based on the commons and uncommons, but then some of the rares and mythics are just so bomby. The white flip mythic Dion, he like comes in. It's like for anyone who plays Magic. If you don't play Magic, probably just skip this section. But we all do, so that's fine. So Dion's a 4-mana 3/3 that comes with a 2/2. On your turn, they both fly, and you can pay mana to flip him and put counters on all your other creatures. Ooh. And he becomes a 5/5. Yeah, he's just crazy. Like if the other person plays that, just scoop. It's too.
Dion, that's the Bahamut.
Yes.
My lord, yeah.
Dion flip Bahamut from Final Fantasy 16.
Crikey, yeah. There you go.
Well, I've only seen like some of the chase cards from the set, and me being the main like Magic reviewer for the website as well. Like I basically just looked at like, what goes in my commander decks? What can I make more commander decks out of?
So many legendaries, and a lot of them are good. Like
74, 75 legendaries in this set, which is more than a majority of like the Mirrodin through Innistrad set combined.
Yeah.
Which
Wizards have gone completely ham with all the new legendaries that are coming out for so many sets.
Oh yeah, they've been doing a lot of legendary support. I mean, they made one specifically for my little demon tribal deck, except it costs 8 mana, which means absolutely nothing to Joe Blow, that hasn't played Magic yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's call me Joe Blow. Are these legendaries going to flood the market? Like, should they be making this many?
Well, it's sort of, they changed their perspective on legendary. I mean, we'll let Max speak. You're the writer.
Well, the way I see it is it basically saturates the commander format. Like, yes, you have so many more like legendaries. So with legendary creatures, the commander format, you make a 100 card deck built around a legendary creature. And like Paris said, there's like 74, 75 legendary creatures that came with this set. So there is now 75 more like types of decks that can be made, and even more because like not only can one legendary creature be good with one thing, it might also be good with another thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and like I say it saturates. It does help a little bit because it also diversifies the format. Like you now have people trying new things. So it is definitely interesting to see where it goes. However, people are basically just playing Lightning, Sephiroth, and Vivi.
I mean, why wouldn't you? I'd play Sephiroth, sure.
Honestly, which
I don't know. I don't
talking to. Like, released 4 different
they're all
versions of them.
amazing cards in terms of their power level. Yeah,
In
but
particular.
as I said in the review, the fact that yes, it's Magic, which is if you ignore Pokemon because it's not really a game, that's just a collectible. the TCG. So if you ignore Pokemon, it's the biggest selling. It's the longest. It's been running longer than Pokemon, but it's the biggest trading card game. TCG. Yeah. And Final Fantasy is one of the biggest and well-known IPs in video games. And there's going to be a lot of crossover people like me that have always played both. But there's going to be a lot of people that have played various Final Fantasies that have heard of Magic but never played it, or maybe they haven't heard of it before. But there's going to be, I think a lot of new players. If anything, the problem is going to be the printing and did they make enough cards? And certainly the at the moment, and we're only within the first week of release, but it looks like it's very hard to find product.
Yeah, I think
for,
it was
for people
sold
that want
out.
to get into it. Yeah,
All the Commander decks were sold out
Actually,
when they released, weren't they?
yeah.
Yeah.
My local FLGS is completely bare.
Yeah.
The other problem is that, and this is across the board with all TCGs, is just scalpers, just like going in and buying all the product and then selling them at a marked up price. And we don't like those assholes.
No, we don't.
not
Those are the people. Those are the reason. Those people are the reason why you can't get the secret layers for Final Fantasy anymore.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I know at least what was quite interesting is that there are still some Commander decks at my local game store, but the ones that sold out are Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy, I believe it's...
I think 10 sold a lot because it's got a built-in infinite combo.
Insane. And then Final Fantasy XIV, two of the most popular Final Fantasy games ever. Final Fantasy VI, buckets of them. Buckets of them.
But it's the best people who have played the best game.
It's the best. Most people who play that on release probably have about enough Commander decks, probably with a few jeweled lotuses in them too.
Okay, well, that's good. Let's go to Para. Yeah, sorry.
All right.
Let's go to Para.
What games am I playing? I can keep this short and sharp, but what will I be playing? I think there's going to be a new Warframe update coming out soon. Isle Weaver, which they will be releasing yet another Warframe. This one, a spider with long legs, as one does, and they will be returning to Deviri, which means something to someone. So even more hours to be sunk in that game. And then otherwise, I'm probably just going to keep getting stuck into that Battlefront mod. Digging a bit deeper into it, it's a VR game called Contractors, which I can call it Call of Duty VR because it's the more arcadey version compared to Pavlov's sort of more Counter-Strike game modes. Yeah. It has mod.io support, and it has a lot of avid fans. Years ago, someone made a Battlefront conversion mod, and it has been continuously updated since. And it's an insane amount of fun. I cannot quite describe to you when every day there's like 3 new maps.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Oh, wow.
It's mostly scrapes from other games, of course. So all of Battlefront 1 and 2 are in there. Shout out to Jabba's Palace because they've got Max Rebo Band playing on loop. We are all about that.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
And then Starfighters and Droidicas. What more could you want? It's a hell of a lot of fun.
Fantastic. That sounds really good. For me, I've just finished up a indie game that came out this week called Lost in Random, The Eternal Die. Currently working on my review. It's a bite-sized roguelite that is sort of a sequel, sort of a spin-off, and puts you in the shoes of the antagonist from the first game. And this evil queen that you defeated in the first game, she gets trapped in a evil die, and she has to find her way out, and there's no death. So, of course, this results in every time you die, you start back again, and the roguelite formula here is born. So that was really fun. It was a lot shorter than something like, Binding of Isaac or Hades or what have you, but I was fine with that. I don't need another 80 hours to get a platinum like in Hades, but this was really fun. So my review will hopefully be up as after this airs. Apart from that, I'm still going on Doom, or still trying to play Doom. I've done one level. I've done one level since. Yeah.
Are they that big?
No, I just haven't had a lot of time to play fun games. But no, it is good. So I'm looking. I'll probably dive into that this weekend.
I'm gonna have to start quizzing you on stuff.
I know. Just be patient, Mac. I will do it. Don't worry. But when Death Stranding 2 comes out, I don't know. I won't know what Doom is. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fair.
Death Stranding comes out. It comes out next week. I didn't even realize.
Yep.
That's a tragedy.
1 week from today. So probably if whoever's hearing this, when this goes live, it will already be out. And hopefully I'll be knee deep in carrying packages across the Australian desert. Can't wait.
That's all I want to do.
You know what that means, right? A week from today means no one's going to listen to this podcast.
No, mate, they'll have it going in the background.
Have it on in the background, yeah.
True.
This is second monitor content, mate.
But they got to go drive and pick it up probably if they don't get it online. Yeah. So they can put this on the car.
How better to celebrate playing Death Stranding 2 set in Australia by listening to 4 Aussie blokes having a chat?
Exactly. It's perfect.
Don't forget, be sure to build your roads in Death Stranding. Everyone loves it when you do.
Yes, please help us. We need all the roads we can
build
get.
some roads. Leave as many ladders as you can. I'm going to be watching. Actually, no, I take it back. I won't be watching. I'll be YouTube blind blackout for a whole long it takes until I get to play that game.
Yeah, good luck with that. I feel like socials and YouTube and everything is just going to be Death Stranding everywhere.
I was going to revert, throw away the phone, snap it in half, get a BlackBerry.
Just go hide in the cave.
Really immersive gameplay, that.
just take a Nokia 3310 with Snake. That's all you need.
Oh, done. That's all you need. Tune in for our view next week of Snake.
Our Thursday throwback. All right, Mac, do you want to finish us off?
Sure. So I've still been playing a little bit of Blades of Fire, which I've been doing for my review, but I've started on my review now, so I haven't been playing that as much. What I have been playing, though, is I've actually gone back to a game I reviewed previously. You can find this review on Qualbert.com, which is Like a Dragon, Yakuza Pirates in Hawaii. Because I didn't get to finish the story when I reviewed it, because I just need to get that review out. Otherwise, it was never going to go. But I've been enjoying that so much. I've actually gone back and I'm continuing with the story. I'm almost finished. And because we got the code for PS5, this is actually going to be my very first platinum.
Woo! Oh, yeah. Great job.
Mighty achievement.
And then I need to, go get it on Series X and complete it there as well.
Not quite. I think I'm at about 220 or something.
Holy moly!
Yeah, I've got a few.
Big fat naught.
What about you, Lee? How many platinums do you have?
I'd have to look. I think I've got like 30 to 40 maybe. Like I've got a decent amount.
It's okay for an average gamer, I guess. Yeah.
It's acceptable.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to accept it.
Dude, I play RPGs. Like my average game time is already like 50 hours. If you want me to be doing 200 hours on every game to platinum them, it's just like
look, I've played Final Fantasy VII Remake, Rebirth, 15 and 16, and the only platinum I have is 15. So that's fair.
I think even I have the FF7 Remake Platinum. It's one of the ones I do have.
I think you had to replay it on hard.
Yeah, you had to play through twice.
And I just couldn't bring myself to do that. I'm not a Final Fantasy nut, I guess. Anyway, so that concludes our podcast today. Thank you everyone for listening and joining Mac, Lee, Para, and myself in this episode of the Qualcast. If you want a summary of all these gaming showcases we mentioned, you can head to Qualbert.com, where we have compiled an extensive list with trailers. Or you can just chat to us on the Qualbert Discord channel. Otherwise, we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.